All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Deathnote and Starbuck, taking place here on Warhail. Starbuck spawning as, well, the blue orc player on the top right-hand side of the map. I have it under good authority that this is a great game, so let's go straight into the action. Starbuck opening things up, Altar of Storms, Burrow, and a Barracks. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we see Deathnote spawning as the yellow human, opening things up with Altar of Kings, Barracks, and a farm. Another, well, farm right there, and this game will be getting underway. Heroes of choice will be Archmage going up against a Farseer, so a classic battle of the brains here, intellect-based heroes, as we also see a war mill being placed down. We'll see if that second orc burrow gets placed down, or if he tries to go for a faster tech to tier 2, all part of the strategy here, as this game nearing that 2-minute mark. Alright, at that 2-minute mark, well, the hero is going to go ahead and pop on out. There's a Farseer, there's some Spirit Wolves, there's a Grunt being able to place down position and presence. Archmage going to go ahead and summon up a Water Elemental, attack a unit, and then perhaps try and go after that Forest Troll Tracker. The Water Elemental a little bit farther back, as the Militia now purposely changing positions to get out of melee range of that Ogre Magi. All of these little bits of micro that are done to try and maximize everything here, as the Ogre Magi will fall. Archmage should get to level 2. There it is. There's that level 2, as that Forest Troll Shadow Priest will drop some items there. Ring of Protection +4, not the item he was looking for. Meanwhile, Farseer going to go ahead and clear out this Murloc creep camp here. I believe he will be shy of level 2 just a little bit. We do see a couple of headhunters out. There is well, only the Spirit Wolves really absorbing a lot of damage here, as we're going to see a potential engagement, perhaps trying to pick up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest as well. There goes that headhunter. That's got to be a difficult job. Like, hey, I want you to aggro that creep camp, get them mad, and then have them chase you all the way across the map. All right, Forest Troll High Priest already taking quite a bit of damage. He gets taken down quickly. Farseer now sitting at level 2. Interestingly, no training of the Forest or any other of the mercenary camps. Actually, it's the blue camp. I don't know if there is something with Abolish Magic off of that camp there. Meanwhile, Deathnote off on the other side of the map here, pretty much doing some free creeping as well. If you look at the mini-map, you're going to see that, well, no one's really crossed across the map yet, even though we're about to hit that 4-minute mark. A Spirit Wolf will just be doing a little bit of scouting, and that is it. So we should be getting, well, fairly strong heroes, level 3 heroes going up against each other here in the center. All right, Archmage does have Gloves of Haste, going to perhaps try and put pressure down. Are they going to spot each other? And here we go. There's a Storm Reaver Hermit. The two armies going to simply pass each other here. There's a Storm Reaver Apprentice. A little bit of damage here, as the Scout Tower and Arcane Tower nearly upgraded. The Farseer is going to be able to put pressure down here. A Wolf down across to the south. Deathnote is already Militia calling to arms off to the north. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around, and the peasants want to repair that tower as quickly as possible. It is going to get repaired, and now the Arcane Tower is feeding back this Storm Reaver Hermit. Militia able to, well, peasants able to keep this Arcane Tower up, as the Archmage was able to force the Scroll of Town Portal back by Starbuck. Tech to tier 2 nearly done there. And meanwhile, though, this tower is going to stay operational, perhaps trying to place down, well, an Arcane Vault, a Blacksmith, something to reduce that surface area of that tower. All right. Where is Deathnote going off to next? Deathnote just ran down to the south here. We're looking at Starbuck running all the way across the map again. We see some spiked barricades also coming up here. And, well, this tower is not going to be that strong. Meanwhile, down on the south side, we see no tech to tier 2 yet, as in comes the army. All right. A little bit of damage. Wolves trying to retreat back here. That is a lot of spiked barricade defense to try to get around. We're going to be looking at some repairs as well. There goes that Storm Reaver Hermit, completely out of mana. And we are looking at double unit, well, triple quad unit repairs now, as the damage is going to start to add up. Meanwhile, back on the other side here, a little bit more Chain Lightning Footmen do have defend. and they're going to be able to reflect back some of that damage from those Orc burrows. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain about to make its way back out onto the battlefield. Little bit of damage, low hit point Footman trying to retreat back out here, and it looks like he will be able to make it. Well, no, he's actually running back into the fray, taking some damage as the Farseer now at 3.5. Meanwhile, this Expo taking a little bit of damage as well. We're looking at the Arcane Tower Militia doing a bit of fighting. Down goes one unit, down goes another Headhunter, and both sides are just exchanging blows back and forth as the Farseer is now kind of trapped into a back corner. Archmage has gotten the Farseer into a far corner there. Archmage, however, well, didn't know the design of Starbuck's base, as Starbuck was able to retreat all the way through the back once more. Tauren Chieftain does have a little bit of mana. Tauren Chieftain also went for Shockwave first. And coming back around here as the Farseer getting in a big heal. Hey, PJ, nom nom nom. How you doing? All right. Coming back through what is going down here. Archmage trying to fall back, getting in a little bit of damage. There was a purge there. All right, so a little bit of a purge there by Deathnote. Meanwhile, we're looking at perhaps a little bit of damage onto that of Stormreaver Hermit. No, the Stormreaver Hermit able to stay alive as we see a Scroll of Town portal back over here to the expansion as an Arcane Vault now getting added in. We do see the Murghol Bloodgill providing in a little bit of healing. Footmen are trying to come over to defend. So early economic advantage by Deathnote. Meanwhile, well, Starbuck trying to push across the map with a Tauren Chieftain and this Farseer. Tauren Chieftain going to get in a big shockwave, line up a large amount of damage, but not enough for a Chain Lightning to follow it up just quite yet. The Footmen of Deathnote need to retreat back. They do not want to feed any additional experience. Archmage trying to get in some last-minute damage onto some of these units as the Arcane Vault once again going to get shut down. All right, low hit point Footman easily cleaned up here. Starbuck nearly sitting at level 4. Once more, Arcane Vault getting added in. There's level 4 now on the Archmage. Archmage going to be able to drop in another water elemental if necessary, as the Footman with Defend able to reflect back all that piercing damage. Here, even one of the Footmen, well, perhaps venturing a little bit too far, throws up a shield again as a dying effort. Coming back through, needing to get this Arcane Vault, needing to get that Scroll of Regeneration. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer taking this time to clear out this Jungle Stalker creep camp and get a bit more experience. Level 2 on the Tauren Chieftain and level 4 on that Farseer. Coming back, Starbuck is now getting that reinforced defense is incredibly important to try and make sure, well, casters, griffins, and, well, all those other units are not able to get pressure as much damage onto those precious Orc burrows that do give experience. All right, coming back through, Footmen, well, finding a couple of peons running across the map here. Not quite sure what to make of that. We're going to see the Farseer perhaps try and intercept them. And now these Footmen, where are they going to try and go? They're going to try and retreat back a little. No, they're going to re-get into position, just simply walking by here. Deathnote actually in a bit of trouble, losing 2 Footmen, maybe even 3 Footmen, as we see a couple of purges go down. That Footman taking quite a bit of damage here as a peon gets taken out as well. So 3 Footmen traded, as now Starbuck is ready to lay waste and lay siege, using a Demolisher right now, heading out across the map and even adding in more Shamans. So the Shamans are being used as, well, purge targets, or purge casters to try and, well, hit any unit that moves out a little bit too far. Also, the Shaman, they do magic damage, so that's incredibly effective range damage against those Footmen. There's a Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer having a really bad day taking that Stormbolt, now trying to retreat back. Tauren Chieftain tries to make its way back over. They're looking at the Demolisher still pushing down a lot of damage. There goes a beautiful shockwave across multiple units, and the amount of magic damage coming across from Starbuck, well, actually quite a surprise here as another unit gets taken out. All right, more repairs getting underway. A second Demolisher getting added, and Starbuck looks like he's going to be able to clear this. Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer, however, is fairly well protected in the back here as the units are going to try and regather once more. Farseer down to 169 hit points, taking a little bit of damage once more. We're looking at a couple of watchtowers now getting completed. That needs to get repaired as well, as we're looking at the Farseer jumping into a transport boat. All right, so the Farseer purposely jumping into a transport boat actually gets a little bit more life, so to speak, while in that boat, as he is fairly well protected. All right, we're looking at more damage. Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 3, going to come back the other way. We are looking at a couple of spell breakers as well, as the transport boat is still nearby enough to provide a little bit of cover here. All right, Tauren Chieftain trying to make its way down. We're looking at a low hit point spell breaker retreating back, as we're still looking at damage coming all the way across from multiple locations. All right, Tauren Chieftain, is he going to be able to do anything here? No, not really. He does have mana, but all of these units are, well, magic immune, all of these spellbreakers, so that could cause problems. Meanwhile, though, the Demolishers here are, well, laying waste to this town hall, and this economy is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Deathnote trying to, well, prevent these watchtowers from getting constructed, but that's going to be an uphill battle, as the Farseer, well, wishes that he brought a healing salve to the party. All right, if you can't bring a healing salve to the party, bring healing salves any way you can. Build the Voodoo Lounge, and then you'll be able to heal things up here, as this one expo is now shut down. Double Demolishers, level 5 now on the Farseer. Farseer perhaps going to be going for level 3 Spirit Wolves, being able to put down pressure onto those Spellbreakers, as this Voodoo Lounge is going to act as a bit of an outpost now, as we see a purge onto a water elemental. Starbuck is in great form and great shape. Level 5, level 3, cleaning up the economic advantage, bringing back the Demolishers and setting up their own great hall. This use of the transport ship, almost like a Goblin Zeppelin, but the transport ship itself has more hit points, and because of that, well, it's able to do quite a bit more. Oh, this would be interesting if you actually like laid waste here, opened up a path, and then came around the side, as a way to lay waste here. All right, we're looking at more damage. Transport ship, remember, does have larger cargo capacity than your standard Goblin Zeppelin. Cargo ship needs to jump. Transport ship needs to jump back here. Farseer is continuing to put in pressure. Spirit Wolves are in that shadow form, as the Tauren Chieftain may try to lay waste again. All right, there should be a couple of peons, and I was just waiting for that. Just open up the back path here and then come around to the corner. That would be just a interesting way to play here on Warhail, as the Shaman now taking a little bit of damage. All right, units continuing to try to retreat back. Water Elementals trying to make a big splash here on Warhail. A little low hit point Demolisher, a little bit more healing onto a Shadow Wolf. That had to have been just a complete misclick right there, as the Demolisher needs to get a bit of repairs as well. All right, what is going to go down here? Yeah, I believe if I take off Fog of War, yeah, so there is a way to get around this side and into this back here to open things up. I want to know if any professional players play on Warhail. I want to see this using of those Zeppelins, or not the Zeppelins, the transport ships, to open up a pathway. Deathnote now trying to retreat back. Chain Lightning, that Chain Lightning bouncing around so many low hit point priests and sorceresses, but they end up surviving. However, it does cause more problems, as a subsequent or follow-up Chain Lightning could finish them all off. This is one of those strange situations where you actually kind of want the Spellbreakers to absorb some of that Chain Lightning, but the fact that they're magic immune actually makes it even more difficult to keep your other casters alive, as the random bounce will not hit those other targets. All right, Guard Tower quickly taking down Shockwave, coming back across here. Demolishers coming over to engage. Mountain King gonna finish off those Demolishers pretty easily. There's another Chain Lightning. Mountain King could be in trouble. Tauren Chieftain gets Storm Bolted. Is he gonna be able to get damage onto that Mountain King enough? And it looks as though the Mountain King will be able to escape away. Tauren Chieftain losing some precious mana from those Spellbreakers with that auto attack, and the Mountain King lives to fight another day. We are getting up to tier 3. That transport ship is dancing back and forth here, as the Expo, well, the Great Hall, now mining for Starbuck here, as there is a Voodoo Lounge and this proper taking of bases. Tauren Chieftain, Farseer, looking to, well, do a little bit of a dance back and forth again. We're looking at 43 supply against 48. Deathnote actually in having nearly 1,200 gold, or more than 1,200 gold, but not in low upkeep here. All right, are we going to get Arcane Sentry? No, we are. Oh, finally getting that Arcane Sentry Scout Tower, able to give sight onto all of those units. All right, these wolves, well, the Arcane Sentry is right there. They're just going to get dispelled real fast. And now, suddenly, Starbuck is getting fed or feeding experience to Deathnote, just like Deathnote was doing earlier with those water elementals. Transport ship. This expo is going to be very difficult to hold on to. Meanwhile, the main bases are completely, starting to run out of gold. Only about 7 minutes of mining left. One thing I wanted to note, Starbuck actually only went for a single Spirit Lodge early on. And with that Spirit Lodge, was able to crank out a fair number of Shaman in order to get all those purges down. Tauren Chieftain now making its way back over. All right. A little bit of easy damage onto that Watchtower. Watchtower looks like it could get taken down. There's a Chain Lightning. There's a Shockwave. But, well, the Tauren Chieftain doesn't have level 5 Shockwave as of yet. And because of that, not able to finish off this entire back line. That's going to be incredibly important. Just trying to finish that back line as we see a Paladin as the third and final hero. All right, some burst heal. Deathnote getting another heal again. We're looking at, well, Deathnote still having far more gold as Starbuck tries to rebuild that Watchtower. All right, low hit point Demolisher trying to retreat back here. Transport ship needs to pick it up. Is going to pick it up. Yes, it does. Just in time. Stormbolt onto the Shaman. As the Tauren Chieftain trying to line things up again. Are we going to see perhaps some Chain Lightning? Yes, we do. But as we mentioned, that Chain Lightning Chain Lightning Shockwave isn't enough to remove that back line just quite yet. There goes another Shockwave, but I believe a Scroll of Healing was used there. Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer was trying to run back around. There's a Chain Lightning, and there's going to be some dead Shaman or dead casters in that back line position. All right. Farseer is in a little bit of a problem. Mountain King gets hit with a Shockwave from behind as the Farseer still engaging. All right, trying to retreat back all the way around as we're going to see a Scroll of Town Portal. Was that a complete bait? That is the question there, as the Farseer now could come back around, perhaps pick up a Potion of Mana, and then Chain Lightning all of those units that are in the far back right now. All right, Deathnote actually ventured a little bit too far here. We're looking at Water Elementals falling, and now the Farseer getting quite a bit of mana again. All right, Kodo Beast out onto the battlefield. Want to play his hungry Kodos with some of those Spellbreakers. One Spellbreaker simply just ran on by here. Farseer taking quite a bit of damage, and now gets another Chain Lightning across multiple units. All right, looking at units still racking up damage, trying to finish off things. A low hit point Priest could end up getting taken down. Water Elemental needs to retreat back here. Sorceress trying to retreat back. Tauren Chieftain trying to finish off some of these units. So much slow across so many targets, as the Farseer going to go ahead and Chain Lightning again. But look at how low hit point all of these units are, and the Tauren Chieftain just desperately wants to get to level 5 for that level 2 Shockwave. So many near kills as the Kodo Beast is going to come back around. There is a Shockwave only taking down one unit, though. Meanwhile, a Spellbreaker has come back out onto the battlefield. All right, Tauren Chieftain, perhaps a little bit of a bad trade there by Starbuck, taking down a Sorceress, not protecting a Kodo Beast, as that low hit point Water Elemental could have been finished. Tauren Chieftain trying to make its way out. Is it going to be able to make its way out? Yes, it does. 22 hit points and able to escape. However, this expo by Starbuck, which was originally Deathnote, looks like it will be falling here as the Archmage and Paladin and Mountain King come to, well, finish the job. Only about 3.5 minutes of mining left here. We're looking at workshops getting added in. 56/70 supply. Starbuck now needs to find an expansion of his own to clear, perhaps. Tauren Chieftain has taken quite a bit of damage. He needs to heal up, but, well, the Tauren Chieftain has a massive amount of hit points that trying to fill. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose. It just takes quite a long time for it to get fully filled back up here. Okay, Farseer are going to go ahead and get up to level Toma retraining, opting for level 3 Chain Lightning, and that may actually come as a surprise. If Starbuck has level 3 Chain Lightning and level 3 Shockwave, or gets closer for level 3 Shockwave, we can see that the back line, all of these casters who have mastery training already, or at least the priest have mastery training, a little bit more hit points, well, they're still going to get finished off. Tauren Chieftain needs another clarity potion, perhaps even another healing salve as well, as he's down to 640 hit points and climbing. 50 supply compared to 60 supply. Starbuck having that slight economic advantage since he is avoiding taxes. Meanwhile, coming back through, Tauren Chieftain makes his way off to the north here. Going for going up against an enraged jungle stalker, and now finishing off these units as well. Kodobi is going to be coming back around. Enraged jungle stalker going to fall. Farseer should not be in the fight here. This might actually take away too much of the experience from the Tauren Chieftain. And wow, beautifully done. Purposely not finishing off the creeps until the Farseer was far enough away. We're going to be looking at level 3 Shockwave. So this is the most powerful version of Chainwave we can see. And look at all of these units all nicely lined up for the Farseer. Chain Lightning most likely going to be bouncing around. Archmage, Paladin, and Mountain King, they do not have the necessary... Wow, Chain Lightning bouncing around, only getting one unit, and we've killed right there. Demolisher going to be trying to get in some damage. Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer trying to retreat back here. There's a Thunderclap, not hitting very much, as all of the units in the front line are going to have some problems. All right, Mountain King diving across here. Mountain King now getting up to level 3. Level 2 Stormbolt could be ready. No, level 2 Thunderclap, I believe, slowing down all of those units as the Paladin gets in some big healing. Paladin now trying, or Tauren Chieftain now trying to retreat back away. He's going to get Stormbolted. He needs to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. He's losing quite a bit. There's another bit of damage across all of those units again as the low hit point casters are trying to retreat. All right, Paladin using Divine Shield, able to stay alive. 48 supply compared to 59. Level 6 now on the Farseer. Farseer trying to push back pressure the other way. Tauren Chieftain doesn't have mana. Purge onto the Archmage. Archmage could, well, spell some problems. There's some more Chain Lightning, but it doesn't bounce onto the other casters who seemed close enough. Not quite sure why they didn't get that Chain Lightning. All right, Kodo Beast count full, not full. So 3 out of the 4 Kodo Beasts are digesting a Spellbreaker. That is 9 supply. So it is really 50 supply compared to 45, except for Deathnote is still paying taxes, only getting 7 gold a second. So yeah, that supply cap problem here. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5 here. Farseer opted to go for level 3 Spirit Wolves over Earthquake, which makes a lot of sense since the Mountain King's Stormbolt does stop that channeled ability, and we aren't quite in a base race scenario yet. Mountain King gonna run across here, open things up with a slow clap, and well, rack up some damage. We're looking at all of these units trying to get away, trying to clear up trying to purge off all those units. There's a Scroll of Speed, and now the Farseer are gonna try and run around. There's a Chain Lightning, or there's a Shockwave, or where's that Chain Lightning? There's the Chain Lightning bouncing across multiple units, and well, we see some Scroll of Healing and also a Holy Light to try and keep these units alive. Are we going to see another Chain Lightning bounce around? There's a Chain Lightning, there's a Shockwave, not hitting enough of those units there, and they're just going to continue to try and heal up once more. Tauren Chieftain trying to get a little bit of separation. Potion of Invulnerability is on that Farseer. All right, Tauren Chieftain able to take down a couple of casters there. 3 casters taken down there as the Farseer able to escape back. Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble. Kodo Beast could be eating up additional targets, and yes, that's what we're having here. However, hungry Kodo gonna give up his lunch as that Spellbreaker comes back out onto the battlefield. All the Kodos now empty bellies. Peasants surround onto Starbuck's Tauren Chieftain. All right, Shockwave, he's trying to break out of this paper bag, and it does do quite a bit of damage, finishing off unit after unit. Tauren Chieftain going to have a little bit of problem. Tauren Chieftain down to 129, 127. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning anywhere to get this Tauren Chieftain to level 6? Yes, level 6 on the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain says, what are you going to do now? I'm just going to get back up again. You're not going to keep me down, as the Paladin now gets up to level 3. All right, more engaging, more fighting. Thunderclap coming back the other way. Tauren Chieftain having a new outtake on life, midlife crisis, whatever. Wants to just jump back into the fray as the Archmage now unsure of what to do with this big unit. However, the Shadow Wolves, well, turning into that orange color Spellbreakers, have control magic as the Tauren Chieftain currently low on mana, unable to get the necessary damage onto that Archmage. Archmage does have a Tome of Retraining ready. Kodo Beast, well, just taking large amounts of damage from the Water Elementals as they're trying to run by. There's a Purge again, and now we're going to get a surround onto the Archmage. Archmage going to be in a lot of trouble. Mountain King Is going to be able to finish anything off, trying to finish off this Shaman. There's a Thunderclap, and now the Archmage able to escape away at 89 hit points. Tauren Chieftain still trying to give chase. Tauren Chieftain does have Endurance Aura, trying to keep up with that Archmage who does not have Boots of Speed. Tauren Chieftain, however, unable to keep up with the speedy Archmage as the Paladin going to come across. Ooh! The Paladin raised his hammer to try and get the Holy Light off. However, the Tauren Chieftain's Shockwave lands first. Big deal right there. Are we going to see, well, perhaps some items sold, trying to dance back around here as the Tauren Chieftain, well, could try and, well, Thunder or Shockwave all of those units. Kodo Beast gonna go ahead and retreat all the way back here. Farseer, Clarity Potion. Are we gonna see some Spirit Wolves? Well, push back the other way, little bit of damage. Kodo Beast nearly done digesting that that Spellbreaker. Could go after another one. All right, Transport Ship is holding that Tauren Chieftain, and Warhail is becoming one of my new favorite maps. For just the variety of gameplay, this ingenious river that runs through Warhail, allowing for, well, not Goblin Zeppelin play, but transport ship play, is just extremely interesting. All right, Tauren Chieftain, he is going to get knocked down and get back up. That is the point right there. Well, gets knocked down, gets back up, and now he does have, well, 4 minutes before that resurrection reincarnation can come online. All right. Farseer or Tauren Chieftain picking up what? Oh, retraining the Stomp. All right. Interestingly enough, Starbuck now retraining to Stomp instead of Shockwave. I don't know if I quite agree with that. Here, going to go ahead and Stomp. There's a Chain Lightning. That's going to finish off one target. Perhaps finish off another, but now the Tauren Chieftain, he used quite a bit of mana and lost quite a bit of mana as well because of those Spellbreakers. There goes the Sorceress. Peons are now making their way back over. Tauren Chieftain, he's going to try and Stomp again. Yes, he's going to Stomp again and get in even more damage. Spellbreakers getting some, well, attacks onto those other units as the Farseer is now back out onto the battlefield. That Stomp does deal, well, it does stun for a fair amount of time. Meanwhile, that Mountain King trying to come back the other way. We see a Peon Surround on the Archmage. All right, Peon Surround onto the Archmage. Holy Light, however, going to be more than enough. Paladin now trying to retreat back again. There's some control magic as the Archmage able to easily break out of that Peon Surround. Peons are falling, 19 supply compared to 22. Both sides still battling it up here. Tauren Chieftain going to throw down another Stomp, try to go after the Paladin. Paladin falls. Even the Paladin falls at level 3 as the Kodo Beasts are falling as well. So it is a battle of the heroes here as both sides are just trying to engage. All right, units trying to retreat back here. Mountain King going up against a level 6 Tauren Chieftain. That is not a good fight whatsoever. Mountain King does, well, he should have enough, no, he doesn't have enough mana for a Thunderclap, but is able to get away again. All right, Transport Ship. Picking up units back and forth again as the Tauren Chieftain looks to back up. All right, so these Shadow Wolves more of a liability than an asset now. As the Tauren Chieftain looks to retreat back again. What is that Farseer going to do? Farseer putting in pressure onto that Altar of Kings. Tauren Chieftain now trying to retreat back again. There's a little bit of superficial damage, and here we are trying to fall back once more. All right, we're looking at 11 supply. Starbuck, does he have a... Yeah, he has one Peon somewhere. Oh, there's that one Peon going up against 21 supply, the pure army of Deathnote. But Deathnote also has Staff of Sanctuary, which is incredibly important. Staff of Sanctuary, well, he had a Staff of Sanctuary, now resurrecting the Paladin instead. Tauren Chieftain clearing out that top left-hand side of the map, trying to get additional gold, picking up some additional items as well. Farseer sitting at level 6, will stay at level 6 after all this time. Starbuck just trying to find ways to get gold at this stage of the game. All right, is this no, that Peon's not gonna... Oh. Okay, so there's a Peon on the top left-hand corner of the map. Now, Arya, don't worry about it. It's not gonna make a big difference yet. It's just a peon. It's in the top corner of the map. There's no other workers, but there's a lot of creeps available on the bottom right, so people will be able to get transport ships and head over to there if they want. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain's still taking quite a bit of damage. Gonna go ahead and clear some of these Forest Troll Berserkers up, get a little bit more gold as this one, well, Forest Troll Berserker gets taken down. All right, couple more Jungle Stalkers to get cleaned up here. We're looking at both sides actually clearing out creep camps, but this is obviously better for Deathnote as Deathnote is gaining experience. Paladin now going to making his way over. And, well, a level 6 hero going up against a 5-4-3. Well, if the Paladin gets more experience and that Mountain King gets more experience, that does change the game dramatically. All right, Tauren Chieftain grabs Ancient Django of Endurance. That's not very helpful at all. Gonna get sold quickly and perhaps try and train up some additional units or pick up some additional healing salves. We are at Stronghold, we are not at Fortress, so no tiny Great Halls available. Meanwhile, Archmage is still staying nearby to drop Water Elementals and provide Brilliance Aura, even though it is taking a bit of that experience. All right, another Water Elemental could be dropped. No, decides to not drop it. Mountain King trying to fight back against all of these units. A Thunderclap would be, well, useful here. Deal damage. What's the Paladin doing? Paladin's just like, hey, what's up? I'm just standing off to the side here, as this is all engaging. All right, level 2 Thunderclap, level 1 Stormbolt, level 1 Bash, as the Tauren Chieftain now heads back off to the north. All right, we are getting up an Expo on the top left-hand side of the map by Starbuck, and I guess enough creep camps were cleared that Django Endurance Aura was sold. Paladin also getting closer to level 4 now, and that Mountain King is getting closer to level 5. Also, Endurance Aura for the Mountain King, who also has Boots of Speed, so he'll be able to run across the map quickly. Deathnote has the larger army significantly, as we're looking at, well, the transport ship checking out the corners of the map still. All right, Farseer or Tauren Chieftain getting ready to engage. Tauren Chieftain still went for level 3 Stomp over level 3 Shockwave now. And interestingly enough, and, well, I guess the Stomp is better to use against the heroes, as you are going to be able to stun them out. Mountain King sitting at level 4. Well, it seems to be in a good spot. We're looking to try and engage a little bit of poison damage going back and forth again there, as we are looking at a flying machine who spots Starbuck's expansion on the top left-hand side of the map. All right, even if Starbuck gets this Great Hall up and running, he only has 1 peon right now, and 1 peon only. Tauren Chieftain trying to clear out this location here, finish things off, get a little bit more gold. Are we going to get a new transport ship? We are, and the Paladin is going to end up, well, finishing this all off here. All right. Are we going to see a cancel in time? Starbuck should cancel this as soon as that Mountain King is out here on the battlefield. Should end up getting canceled. Is he going to cancel it? Trying to buy a little bit of time, perhaps. Force this Great Hall. And what is going down here? Great Hall down to 200 hit points, down to 100. There's the cancel. Peon now trying to retreat away. And there's a flying machine still overhead. Where is the other units? There is the transport ship. Is it going to try and deal damage to this? Well, transport ship... Well, boats just trying to unload, and here we go. They're going to try and engage against each other. There's some water elementals. There's a thunderclap. Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to try and fight back, and there's a resummoning of the wolves there. Archmage sitting at level 5, doesn't want, trying to level up to level 6, stomp onto the heroes as they are now falling back as well. All right, 10 over 10 supply. Well, Farseer didn't pick up. Where was the gold spent then? Unless was that Great Hall destroyed? I thought it was canceled. Mountain King sitting at level 4, and, well, no decisive moments anymore. Well, Starbuck getting storm bolted, thunderclapped here. This should be enough to force a GG here. If Starbuck loses this Farseer down to 102 hit points, and now finally going to get taken down. Level 5 now on that Mountain King. So all the drama in the middle portion of the game, only in the end, Deathnote comes out ahead as he was able to use the Archmage Mountain King and Paladin use those 3 heroes together and to overcome the level 6 Farseer and Tauren Chieftain. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.